Hello YouTube, it's Dynamo22, and my voice is kind of not feeling the greatest today, but hopefully that won't be a problem, because I want to get another battle up, and this is actually my fourth X and Y singles battle. You probably didn't see the second one, even though I uploaded it, because apparently no one saw it. It's got like 0 views, which is even low for me, but so it probably didn't show up in sub boxes because that happens with YouTube sometimes. And then my third battle was against Stevo, who I highly recommend you check out, but it started off really well, but then towards the end it got really stally because there was 2 Skarmories left and a bunch of physical attackers, and so the ending is kind of boring. So I may or may not upload that at some point. So that leaves us with battle number 4 here. It's against Reffetgaming. I don't know how you pronounce that, but that's how I'm gonna go. And you should go check him out because he does Pokemon battles and they're pretty cool. And anyone who uses Manectric as their Mega is worth watching, probably, in my opinion. So a little bit of team preview here. I'm running the same stuff except for I've got that one position where I kind of have been changing around, and if I had another leftovers it would be for a special wall since all my walls are physical. Excuse me, but since I don't, I threw in Ursaring because I recently bred one of those and it doesn't need leftovers, it needs Toxic Orb, which is an item I can easily get. And because if you haven't noticed by my team structure, I'm a real big fan of Johto. So, I mean, heck, once Pokebank comes out, Typhlosion and Charizard literally have the same stats, other than the fact that Charizard obviously has a Mega. So I could just slap Typhlosion on this team and just have a mono region team, which would be cool. But that note aside, we're going to look at his team. He's got Florges, which is very specially defensive from what I've seen watching other people's videos. He's got Blastoise, which is going to be a problem because it's a bulky rapid spinner, and I like to set up hazards considering I've got all of them on this team. Dragonite, which is always a threat. If you know anything about Pokemon, it's that you should be aware of Dragonite because it's the original Dragon type, and it kicks some major butt. Volcarona, which is a threat in and of its own if you don't have Stealth Rocks up, but luckily Azumaring resists both fire and bug, and I've got Aqua Jet. So that should hopefully help me with Volcarona. You have to watch out for Flame Body though, because 30% burn chance is 100% burn in my experience. Then he's got Trevenant, which is a problem because I can't Rapid Spin, although he doesn't appear to be carrying any hazards of his own, so I guess that's not too big of a deal. And then lastly, he's got Manectric, which is obviously going to be his Mega. And to start the battle off here, you know, you always got to try and figure out what your opponent's going to lead with. And I'm like, he's probably going to lead with Manectric so that he can Volt Switch on anything. So look at my team to decide what I should do to counter that. And right then I realize nothing on my team can handle Mega Manectric. The only thing that's not weak to one of its attacks is Ursaring. And if Ursaring is who you're using to take hits from Mega Manectric, then you've got some problems. So let's get into this battle. And I don't know why it's taking so long. Okay, Reffet is issuing a challenge, and the quality goes way down, but that's okay. So I lead with Skarmory. I really wanted to lead with Ariados because I thought I could take one Flamethrower because it's not stab, and then set up Toxic Spikes so that when he kept coming in, he would at least be hurt by something. But I guess I'd go with Skarmory instead, just because. And I know he's going to Volt Switch here because he's probably noticed that I have nothing to take a Volt Switch. So I'm just going to go ahead. I thought I was going to live with Sturdy and then Roost back up, but I actually managed to live with 2 just so that the Sturdy animation doesn't come into play, which I guess is kind of cool. And he goes into Blastoise in case I set up spikes. He can just outspeed me, rapid spin, kill me, and get rid of the spikes in one awesome play. But I just go for Roost because losing half health on Skarmory is the only thing that's not gonna get destroyed by. It's the only play I can make where Mega Manectric doesn't tear the biggest hole in my team. So here I realize I have nothing to take a Scald either because my only resist to water is Azumaring, and I really don't want to get burned. So I just stay in here with Skarmory and start just doing nothing really in particular. And then I go for spikes to try and force him to rapid spin so I can go to Charizard and hopefully Mega so I can get the sun up so I'm not weak to Scald anymore. That doesn't work, he just tries to kill me. So here we have Charizard versus Blastoise, which is a blast from the past. And that does way too much, but I'm gonna get the Mega going here and get the Drought so I can resist, by resist I mean be neutral to Scald. Then hopefully it won't be doing so much. Also, Mega Charizard Y's got base 110 special defense, so hopefully that will increase my chance of not getting killed because I really need Mega Charizard Y to do some work in this game. I'm just going to go for a Roost here because I should be able to take Scalds much better now. And I didn't know if Solar Beam would kill him. I just wanted to be at a better position so I could take Scalds later in the match. So I at least would have like a real switch. Here I'm going to go into Ariados because I see this as like my one opportunity to get Ariados in because there's very few things in the OU tier which can't just straight up OHKO Ariados. And I do resist Fairy, which is nice. He goes for a Wish, and then he passes it out to Blastoise, which I kind of saw coming because he wants to rapid spin the spikes. But really, I was just trying to get the toxic spikes up before Blastoise could get in because that way he'll at least be poisoned, and then he can't stand and troll me the whole game. But unfortunately, he does get in, and I know he's going to rapid spin here. I'm going to go to Charizard again, because it's the only thing on my team that can really take on Blastoise, which is kind of a weird thing to say. But the sun is luckily still going here, so I can still go for some Solar Beams. He does unfortunately rapid spin my stuff away. But I'm going to go for Solar Beam here, as he goes back out into Florges. I'm going to hit him with a Solar Beam, and I was surprised it does actually a fairly good amount, and I thought that was going to be leftovers, but it's actually red card, which is awesome because it brings me into Azumaring, which is exactly what I wanted to go into because the sunlight fades. I actually want to go into Ariados so I can set up the toxic spikes, but Azumaring works because Florges, I'm guessing, cannot actually hurt me too much, so I'm just going to go for the Belly Drum. I'm not sure what he's got on his team to handle Belly Drum Azumaring, but I figure I need to punch as big a hole in his team as I can with this Azumaring right now. He goes for the Wish as I Belly Drum, which is cool because I get mostly a free Belly Drum. I just go for a Play Rough in case he wanted to go into Blastoise to resist the Waterfall, because that's probably about the only thing that could take it. But he just goes for Protect to get the Wish back on his Florges, which is fine with me because I just want to KO him with a Waterfall anyway. He goes into Trevenant now, who might be physically defensive, but I'm pretty sure a +6 Play Rough is nothing to trifle with on a neutral hit, so I just go for that, and it does take him out, so that's another threat out of the way. And now he goes into Mega Manectric, which is unfortunate because it gets Intimidate, so I'm no longer at +6. And I kind of saw this coming, but I still was too tempted to try and get a big hit on that Mega Manectric because of how much it's going to destroy me. I just go for this safe Aqua Jet, because I'm pretty sure at +5 it'll still KO him. But he goes into Blastoise to resist it, which is smart, but it still does so much, so I'm pretty sure I can kill him with Play Rough from that point. And I do, which is great, because that means from now on, any hazards I set up are there to stay. He's going to keep doing the whole Intimidate stuff, so I'm back down to +4. But I'm still pretty sure I can OHKO him with +4 Aqua Jet. Even though that's weaker than a Belly Drum Aqua Jet, it's more powerful than Choice Band Aqua Jet. And Choice Band Aqua Jet from Azumaring is nothing to mess with. So he does what I almost think he should have done before, with continuing the Intimidate shuffling he had going on there. Because with multi-scale up, I just didn't feel I mean, Play Rough would have probably OHKO'd him through the multi-scale, but I was afraid of him outspeeding me and killing me, so I just wanted to break the multi-scale with the +4 Aqua Jet, which obviously, since he resists and has multi-scale, isn't going to kill him. He goes for Earthquake. It doesn't quite kill me, so I see this as a free switch into Skarmory just because I want to save the priority Aqua Jet for whenever it might be useful. And then I just go for Roar in case he wants to start setting up on me, because after Azumaring did that much work, I figured as long as I don't get swept, I should be able to just finish off this game. I was actually surprised I lived the Fire Punch, but he does get Rocky Helmet damage and stuff. Now, his last is Volcarona, who I had forgot about, and I'm a little bit concerned about it because it's at full health. And my original plan was to Aqua Jet it with Azumaring, but I was afraid it's going to go back into Dragonite. So what I'm going to do is set up the latest game Stealth Rocks you will ever see. They help against Dragonite, which is nice because he can't roost up to multi-scale anymore if he has that. But mainly it was just so that he couldn't switch out against Azumaring with Volcarona. I'm willing to sacrifice stuff as long as I can just trap and eliminate his last two guys. And since he goes for the Quiver Dance, I actually get to go for an Earthquake now, which is great because it means he's not at full health anymore. And I was a little bit nervous about Azumaring being able to OHKO him with Aqua Jet just because it's a kind of weaker attack. I don't have the Choice Band equipped. And at +1, he would have been a pretty big threat to the rest of my team if he got past Azumaring. But luckily, that's not going to happen. He's going to finish off Fortress with the Fire Dance. But he's easily in KO range for Azumaring now, and since I put up the Stealth Rocks, if he wants to switch out, it won't save him either. So I'm going to go ahead and go for Aqua Jet. You can't see this because of the animation speed so fast and all of Azumaring's attacks, but his tail actually lights up every time he attacks, which I obviously didn't realize a lot before because, like I said, it's hard to see with how fast all of his attacks go. But I think that's really cool, something they added in 6th Gen. He's, of course, going to get the burn, which I knew he was. But, so now his last is the Dragonite. I just go for a Play Rough here because even burned, it's super effective, and it should do some pretty decent damage if he tries to mess around with setting up and stuff. Now I've got 3 Pokemon to try and take out Dragonite. I decided to go with Ursaring since he's at full health, and he resists Charizard and stuff like that. So he just goes for an Outrage, which doesn't quite kill me, which is cool. If it had, I would have Sucker Punched him with Ariados, which hopefully would have killed him because he would have been locked into an attacking move. But otherwise, I was a little bit concerned if he got through Ursaring, that between Charizard and Ariados, I wouldn't be able to handle him because Dragonite's really bulky and stuff, and powerful at the same time. So that's today's battle. That moves me to 4-0 actually in 6th Gen Wi-Fi singles, which, considering I've literally just thrown on whatever random stuff I've bred with no special defensive Pokemon and only one special attacker, it really surprises me. That'll probably change once Pokebank comes out because everyone will have more access to like the actual good legendaries and stuff. But once they get the new tiers out, hopefully I can start playing a little bit more lower tier stuff. Because with Ariados and Azumaring, that's my offensive core there. I got Azumaring and Ursaring to go with Sticky Web, but obviously Azumaring is going to be OU. What I meant to say was Ariados and Ursaring. That's going to be a lot of fun in the lower tiers. I think it'll be a lot more effective than it is in OU, where I'm using it now, and I'm really looking forward to using some of the other lower tier stuff I have already bred but I can't use yet. And so that's just today's video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see